Hey guys, I'm Faith and welcome back to my 12 days of Christmas. Today is day number 5 and I am coming at you with my top best of K-beauty of 2018. 2018 was definitely the year of K-beauty for me. I spent a lot of time in Seoul. I've done a lot of picking through and trying out all of the brand new releases that have come out to the market, and I have selected all of my favorites for this video for you guys, and I hope you enjoy, so let's just jump right on in. Okay, so let's start this thing off with cleansers. I actually don't have a first cleanse, like a balm cleanser or an oil cleanser. I just didn't find any in the K-beauty market that I actually liked. I will say I liked that Heimish one in the beginning of the year, but that was quickly replaced by my Green Clean by Pharmacy. So I actually don't have a first cleanse to share with you guys, but I do have 2 gel cleansers. The first one is the CosRX Good Morning Gel Cleanser. Anytime throughout the year when my skin was kind of out of whack or out of balance, or I was getting a lot of breakouts from trying a lot of new skincare, I would kind of scale it all back and just go back to this because I know that this balances out my skin really, really nicely. And after a few days of just using this, my skin is always back to its normal level, and I can kind of proceed with my testing of skincare from there. It has a pH of 5.5, so it's very neutral. And I just love this guy. And then the other cleanser that I've really loved, especially now that it's getting colder, is the Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser from Krave Beauty. The texture of this is unlike anything I've ever seen. It's very slick and slimy almost. And when it goes onto the skin, you really feel a burst of hydration immediately upon application. I really, really love this. If you're normal to dry, you're going to love this all throughout the year. But for me with combo skin specifically in the colder months, this has been awesome for me. Next up are toners. I have 2 to talk about. One is an appropriate, proper toner, and that's the iUNIK Tea Tree Relief Toner. Kind of similarly to the CoStar X Good Morning Gel Cleanser, this has been my toner of choice when I just need to calm everything down. It does have tea tree in it and is very calming and soothing on the skin. It's been my perfect or my ideal toner, the best toner that I've ever tried, K-beauty or not, is this one by iUNIK. The other one isn't really a toner at all, but I use it in place of my toner step, and that is the CosRX X2 in 1 Poreless Power Liquid. This, at first when I got it, I had no idea how to use it. I was using it in my acid exfoliation step, and I was just putting it into my hands and smearing it on my face, and I went through so much product doing that. I should probably read the directions more often because it instructs you to put some on a cotton pad, and I have been doing this in replacement of my toning step, and when I do that, it really sinks into the skin well. You do go through this fairly quickly. That would probably be the only downfall, but it's such a mild and gentle BHA exfoliant that truly, you could use this every single day, and it pairs really well with other acids and active ingredients, which is why I love it so much, because I get a lot of use out of this, and it's so gentle and so mild that truly, even if I'm not even using any other acids, this is a great step in my routine to kind of just chew away a little bit of the dead skin cells, especially now that it's getting colder and I have a little bit more dry patches on my skin. This has been a lifesaver. So these 2 beauties have been my favorite for my toning step. Next up is a cleansing water, and I am eating my words because initially this year when I tried this product, I said that I did not think it was worth the hype, and I'm eating those words because I've changed my mind and it's a godsend. And I'm talking about the Sun & Park Beauty Water. So initially when I first got this, I just did not understand. I was like, why do people love this so much? Why is this so raved about? Why do K-beauty pop stars do commercials for this? What's the deal? I just didn't understand because it's a very gentle cleanser. It's also a mild exfoliant, but it's not the best exfoliant I've ever used. It's not the best cleanser I've ever used, but I kept going back to this. I kept going back to this beauty water. I purchased another one and I kept using it every day. And truly, I use this every single morning. It's just become a staple in my routine. I don't know what I would do without this, honestly. I use this in replacement of a cleanser in the morning. This is my cleanser. If I'm running out the door, it's literally beauty water by Sun & Park and an SPF, and I'm out the door. So for those reasons and more, the beauty water definitely makes my top of K-beauty list for this year. Next up, we have our essences, and I never, like, honest to goodness, I had never used an essence before 2018. I thought they were a gimmick, but I have since introduced a few into my routine. I've tried a lot, and I've got to say, they are a game changer. I just feel like for my skin type specifically, I have combo acne prone skin, as you guys already know, but sometimes like a moisturizer and a serum and an oil, like all of that is just too much for my skin. And this year I really took a step back and started listening to my skin a little bit more, and I found that by using like an essence and a serum, sometimes that's enough for me. Oftentimes, actually, that's been enough for me. So I've been gravitating towards essences a lot in 2018. One of my favorites, like not just in K-beauty, in all of skincare, has been the Innisfree Firming Energy Essence with fermented soybean. This essence is like everything that I could ever want in an essence. I'm not even kidding you guys. I would compare this one to the Kombucha by Fresh. They're both fermented, so both of them are going to provide a lot of anti-aging benefits, and if you live in an area with high pollution, it's going to really help out with that too. But this has been so good at balancing out my skin, giving me a little bit of hydration, getting that pollution in check, because I do live in a city, and it's been a lovely, lovely product. So this one has been like top of 2018. The other essence that I have been obsessed with, but I don't use it as an essence, I actually use this as a serum, is the Snail Bee High Content Essence by Benton. This does not get enough love. I'm just throwing that out there. This is one of the most underrated K-beauty products on the market. So it has snail in it, but it also has some benefits from like honey and bees. So it's like antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, but you also get all of those reparative properties from the snail mucin that's contained in this. It is a dream. It is a dream product if you have troubled skin, sensitive skin, any type of skin, aging skin. This product is so good and so underrated, you guys. I actually have another essence to talk about. I was going to go into like my serum category next, and I realized that the CosRX Snail Mucin Power Essence 96 is not a serum, which is how I use this. Similarly to the Benton, I use this in replacement of an essence or on top of one, and oftentimes because this is so viscous, the thickness and like consistency is like very, very heavy on my skin. I don't really need much after this. Oftentimes I'll use this on its own. Like for example, last night, I double cleansed. I used the Innisfree fermented essence. I put on this CosRX 96 serum, which I use it as, and that was it. That was my whole routine. I use this all of the time. I even gave some of this to one of my friends who has a kid. Her son is 2 years old, and he banged his head really bad against something, but he had this huge gash in his forehead, and she was like, "Oh my God, what do I do?" And I was like, "Dude, you've got to put some of this essence on his forehead." And so she did, and literally she was like texting me a few days later like, oh my God, what is happening? Like there's no scar, it's healed. This is such like a good product for healing and restoring the skin. I couldn't recommend it more. I love it. On to actual serums. I have two, and they're both from iUNIK. So the first is a Black Snail Restorative Serum, and the other one is a Poreless Vitamin Synergy Serum. I use this for very different reasons, but I love to mix them too. So the Black Snail, like we just talked about, restorative, reparative. This has a much thinner consistency though. This has a 70% concentration of snail versus like the Snail Mucin 96 has a 96% concentration. So as you can imagine, this is a lot thinner and sinks in a lot more quickly. If I need to use the moisturizer on top, this is what I will go for. I love this product. And then the Poreless has a ton of vitamins. It's very, very nutrient dense. And this is really good for morning or evening if you just need to brighten up the skin. So these two, like the brand iUNIK overall has really impressed me this year, and these serums have been top notch. Moving right along to moisturizers, my favorite moisturizer, you could probably guess because it hasn't changed in like 5 years. I'm talking about the Aqua Bomb by Belif. This is so good for my skin type specifically. If you have dry to normal skin, you're going to want to go with the moisturizing bomb because it's more thick. But if you have skin like I do, anywhere from like combo or normal or oily, this is a great one for you. So it's a gel-like consistency. I like to use it honestly any time of year, in any weather, under any situation or circumstance, morning or night. This is always like a go-to for me. It's a holy grail product in my collection. And 2018 was an awesome year for all Aqua Bomb lovers all over the world because Belif expanded their range. So they came out with a sleeping mask, and it has become my favorite sleeping mask that I've ever tried. Before this, I used to hate sleeping masks. They were always way too thick for my skin type, and I would always wake up the next morning, my pillow would be a mess, you know, product would be everywhere, it never sunk in properly, and I got breakouts because of it, because it was too occlusive and heavy on my skin. But the Belif sleeping mask, the Aqua Bomb one, totally changed my perception of this category of product. So when I actually first used this product, I was putting some on my face, and it had been a while. I was like, I don't feel anything. Like, it was weightless on the skin, and I went to touch my skin and I was, oh my gosh, girl, you went overboard. So I actually applied way too much product the first time that I used this because it literally, like, I couldn't feel it on my skin, which is awesome if you have my skin type. That's like such a rarity. I've never had that happen to me before. So I actually just kept all of it on, and within about 20 minutes, the very thick layer of sleeping mask had kind of sunk into my skin. I went to sleep, there was no residue on my pillow, and I woke up with hydrated, plump, juicy, bouncy skin. So this is a huge win for 2018. But it doesn't stop there, you guys, because Belif came out with the Aqua Bomb mist. So I have the mist, and it actually came with a refill or a backup, and this, again, it does not disappoint. I have lazy girl days, like today was a lazy girl day. Instead of using a moisturizer in the morning, I've actually just been going towards my Aqua Bomb mist. I like to use this as a moisturizer. I like to use this as a setting spray, as a refresh during the day. I hope you're able to see this. It is the finest mist you've ever seen in your life. It smells so good. I'm obsessed. Got in my mouth. Moving on to probably K-Beauty's most popular arena, which are masks. I'm not even kidding. They have a mask for everything. I was walking through Myeongdong in Korea. It's like their K-Beauty epicenter, basically. And I literally saw like a boob face mask. I was like, okay, we can calm down, like relax, Korea. We don't need that. I have a bunch of different kinds of favorite masks. The first one I want to talk about, you've heard me talk about before on my channel, another favorite from Belif. This is their Pore Cleaner Bubble Foam. This is an exfoliant and a mask all at the same time. It only takes a few minutes. It's very untraditional, but I love the way that this makes my skin feel, and I love to use it in the morning specifically to give me like a radiant glow through the day. Another favorite that's a wash-off mask is from Innisfree. So this is their Jeju Volcanic Color Clay Mask and Calming. It's the purple one. They have recently expanded their range. They have like 10 or 12 of these now, but I love this because it's a clay mask, which is really good for like purifying the skin, but it's not drying. It never fully dries down, so I can leave this clay mask on my skin for 45 minutes and it will never make my skin feel tight or like itchy. Sometimes that happens with clay masks. It's just a beautiful product, and depending on which one you get, like they have a hydrating one, so like a clay mask that's also hydrating. It's brilliant. Next up is the K-Beauty staple, the sheet mask. I don't like sheet masks. It's very controversial, I know. Next up is the K-Beauty staple, the sheet mask. I don't like sheet masks. It's very controversial, I know. A lot of people don't understand why I don't like them, and let me explain. So sheet masks ruin my hair. They ruin my hairline. I have such fine blonde hair that I can shower and then 3 hours later my roots are oily. I'm not even kidding. It's so annoying. So if I have just taken a shower or if my hair is still looking decent, I don't want to put a sheet mask with all of the essence all up in my hair and ruin my hair, you know what I'm saying? And I hate feeling so restricted. I hate putting a sheet mask on and feeling like it's just gonna slip off of my face and just being like this for like 30 minutes. I can't do that. I can't sit still for 30 minutes. I don't want to do it. So I finally found a sheet mask that I am obsessed with, and of course it's expensive. I'm talking about the Saturday Skin Quench. This is a hydration mask. This is made from biocellulose, which is a thicker material, and the material is what makes this so great because it sticks. Like, it sticks on my skin. I remember earlier this year, I actually put up on my Instagram stories me wearing this, and you could literally see like the contour of my cheek through the sheet mask because it hugged my skin so well. And that is why I am obsessed with this mask. It also has the perfect amount of essence. There is always a little bit left at the bottom, which I like to use the next day, like save it and use it the next day as my essence step in my skincare routine. And it's very hydrating without overdoing it. So Saturday Skin hit it out of the park with this sheet mask. But wait, we're not done. I have some under eye masks to talk about. I have tried a lot of like hydrogel masks and nothing compares to these. These are the Nature Republic Snail Solution, Snail, go figure, Hydrogel, go figure, eye patches. I can leave these on for like 2 hours and my skin under my eyes just like plumps. Any hollows that you have, gone. Darkness reduced. They never give me like the weird bumps that you can sometimes get under your eyes from hydrogels or like an eye cream. They are so good. I have never found anything that tops these. In like any market, anywhere, these are the best. I want like 1,000 of them. Next up is another mask, but we're talking about the lips this time. This is something I've talked about on my channel before. It's something that's actually come over to America, and I'm talking about the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. This is my favorite K-Beauty lip sleeping mask. This jar is gonna last me like a trillion years. This is an awesome lip mask and I love it, especially when it is warmer outside because it's like the perfect consistency for me. I can use it in the day or in the night how they suggest to use it. So this is an awesome product and it's taken off in America for a reason. It's really good. 2018 has been the year of me just proving myself wrong over and over and over again because at the beginning of the year I thought pimple patches were absolute like trash. I thought they were stupid, and now I'm eating those words because I have gone through like 10 of these and there's 24 in a pack. I get a lot of breakouts, you guys. These are the CosRX Master Patches for pimples, the acne pimple master patches, and they are amazing. So these are the older ones. They're thicker. They also have a black packaging that are a little bit thinner for daytime use, but to be honest, I prefer these. You just put them on your pimple, and it's really important to put them on the pimple at the right time is what I've learned. So once your pimple is like white or it's come to a head, that's when you want to put one of these on and sleep on it. And literally when I do that and I wake up in the morning, all of the like gunk and like pus and all that gross stuff like extracts from the pimple, it seeps into the patch, and my breakouts go from like taking a week to clear out to like a day or two. It's magical. And also, like, let's be honest with ourselves, sometimes we pick at our breakouts. I know I'm a culprit of that. It's not a good habit, but it's true. And when I do that, you don't want the area to get infected. So to like kind of counteract the bacteria that could possibly get in your wound, I put a pimple patch on and it just seals the area off and makes it a clean space. So these have saved the day multiple times in 2018. Next up is sunscreen, the Koreans' favorite thing of all time, with good reason. We should always be putting sunscreen on our faces. I know for me, it's the one step in my routine where I always think like, oh, it's cloudy, I don't need that. Which again, Faith, you're wrong. We should always be using sunscreen all the time, but it's really hard to find a good one, you know, one that doesn't turn white on the skin, one that doesn't make you oily through the day. So it's a semi-delicate balance. It's really, really hard to find a sunscreen that, at least for me, has been good for my skin until I came across this one from Innisfree. This is their Perfect UV Protection Cream Triple Care. The Triple Care is important because they have an oily, like for oily skin types, they have a dry skin type, and then they have this Triple Care one. And this is a SPF PA triple plus of 50. This is the best sunscreen that I've ever come across, ever. The consistency is kind of like a thick, like the Benefit Professional. It feels like silicone almost, and it's very, very blurring on the skin. So for me, I really love that because I'm getting my SPF, but it's also acting like a primer for my combo skin. It fills in the pores, it blurs the skin, and it just makes makeup or anything else that you apply on top of it lay beautifully. So because of that, this has been my favorite SPF that I've ever tried in my entire life. And finally, I have two products to talk about. They're not specifically skincare. They're more like makeup bases that have skincare properties to them. And they're both from Dr. Jart. Dr. Jart makes my favorite bases ever. The first one that I want to talk about is newer to me. I got this year in 2018, and this is their Cicapair Recover. The cream itself is green, but when you apply it onto the skin, it turns into your skin color, like your skin tone. And what this does, just off the packaging, it says rest and repair solution for sensitized skin, protects skin, and covers blemishes, which I can attest that it does all of those things. It also has an SPF of 30, so you can use this on its own if you want, or you can pair it with that Innisfree sunscreen I was just talking about. Either way, you're covered from the SPF department. I love this because when I do have breakouts or like redness on my face, when I put this over top of it, it sinks into my skin beautifully and really reduces that redness, and it really makes the next layer, like if I'm using foundation or whatever else that day, it makes the next layer go on beautifully, and really, like, you don't have to work to cover up your redness. Also, sometimes I can just use this on its own. It's a beautiful product, it's easy, and I love it. And the second base product that I wanted to talk about is something that you've heard me talk about before on my channel over and over and over again, because I'm obsessed. I've been using this for years. This is the Dr. Jart BB Cream in Pore. It has an SPF of 30, PA++, so you can use this in replacement for your sunscreen or use it in conjunction with one. But you guys, this is the best BB cream that I've ever used. It truly makes your skin look like a canvas. This is an absolute dream. If you have combo skin, acne-prone skin, oily skin, large pores, even if you're like a teenager and you're going through some hormonal changes, this is such a good product because it's good for your skin, you guys. It also has that SPF in it, but it is high intense, full coverage. So you do not need a foundation on top of this if you're using this. For me, when I use it, I just use it on its own. It's just this, and out the door I go. It lasts all day. It doesn't cake up or bunch up or fall off the skin in any weird way. It truly melts into your skin and becomes one, creating the perfect canvas for the rest of your makeup. And for all of those reasons and more, I'm obsessed with the Dr. Jart Pore, and it's the best BB cream that I've ever found. So that is it, you guys. Those are my top picks for K-Beauty in 2018. I would love to know if any of these were your favorites, or if you have some favorites that you want to recommend to me to try out. If you wouldn't mind leaving those suggestions in the comment section down below. I'm always looking for the next best thing when it comes to K-Beauty. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you tomorrow for our 5th day of Christmas. See you then. Bye.